Okay, so get this. Imagine an AI that doesn't just, sit there answering trivia questions.
Right.
This AI actually does things in the digital world.
Yeah.
Like a super-powered virtual assistant.
Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
Microsoft's Magentic-One.
That's right.
A system that's really shaking things up in the AI community.
Yeah, it's causing a lot of buzz.
So what's so special about Magentic-One?
Well, the fascinating thing here is that Magentic-One isn't just one AI. Think of it as a whole team of specialists, each with their own skills, collaborating to tackle some seriously complex tasks.
So it's not just another chatbot then?
No, not at all. It's much more than that.
From what I've seen, this team is made up of 5 key players, right?
You got it. We've got the Orchestrator, who's basically the project manager keeping everyone on track.
Right.
Then there's web surfer, file surfer, coder, and computer terminal.
Okay.
Each with a very specific role.
Okay, so walk me through this.
Okay.
Let's say I need to, book a movie ticket for tonight.
Yeah.
How would Magentic-One's A-team handle that?
Okay. Imagine this. You give Magentic-One the task, book a movie ticket.
Right.
The Orchestrator jumps into action,
Yeah, okay.
analyzes what needs to be done, and creates a plan. It might assign web surfer to scout out movie times
Makes sense.
and availability online.
Okay.
Then file surfer might step in to neatly store the ticket confirmation,
Right.
while coder handles any behind-the-scenes data processing.
Whoa. So each agent has its own specialty, like a well-coordinated pit crew.
Exactly. Each agent has its own expertise, and they work together seamlessly.
This is more than just answering questions. It's about getting things done.
That's the idea. It's about AI that can take action in the real world.
Now, I did read that Magentic-One is built on something called Autogen.
Yes.
What's the significance of that?
That's where it gets really interesting. Autogen is an open source framework,
Okay.
meaning Magentic-One isn't limited to working with just one kind of large language model, or LLM for short.
Right.
It can play nice with different LLMs,
Oh.
like GPT-4 and others, which makes it incredibly adaptable.
So it's future-proof in a sense.
You could say that. It's designed to be flexible and evolve as new LLMs become available.
That's pretty smart. But how do they ensure that all these different agents actually play well together?
Yeah.
I mean, coordinating a team of AIs has got to be tricky.
You're absolutely right. That's where Autogen Bench comes in.
Okay.
It's basically a rigorous testing ground where Microsoft puts Magentic-One through its paces, making sure this agent team can effectively tackle complex multi-step tasks.
I see.
They're looking at things like planning and tool use,
Right.
but in very realistic scenarios.
So beyond booking movie tickets,
Right.
what are some real-world examples where Magentic-One could really shine?
Well, there are many potential applications.
Who would benefit most from this kind of AI?
Think about researchers drowning in data.
Okay.
Magentic-One could be their secret weapon, automatically fetching information from the web,
Wow.
organizing files, even crunching numbers, all without the researcher lifting a finger.
So it's like a research assistant on steroids.
Exactly. It can automate a lot of the tedious tasks that researchers face.
Or imagine content creators who spend hours digging up information.
Right.
Magentic-One could streamline their entire workflow.
Absolutely. It could help them with research writing and even content generation.
This is where it starts to feel like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right?
We're talking about AI that's not just passively giving information, but actually doing things in the digital world. It's like having a hyper-efficient digital assistant.
That's the core idea behind what Microsoft calls an agentic system.
Okay.
We're moving beyond AI that simply recommends.
Right.
Now we're talking about AI that takes action. It has the potential to reshape how we work and interact with technology.
In a profound way.
Absolutely. This is a major shift in how we think about AI.
Now, let's be real. There have to be some potential downsides to this, right?
Of course.
Giving AI this much autonomy can't be without risks.
You're spot on. There are definitely risks.
What are some of the concerns around a system like this?
Well, one concern is unintended consequences.
Okay.
AI systems can sometimes behave in unexpected ways, especially when they're given a lot of autonomy.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. In one instance, the agent tried to log into a website over and over again.
Oh, no.
Which actually got the account temporarily suspended.
Okay, so maybe a little too eager there.
Exactly. It didn't understand the concept of being locked out.
Right.
And in another case, an agent even tried to contact real people for help in writing a Freedom of Information request.
Wow. That's both impressive and a little scary.
It is. It shows a potential of these systems,
Yeah,
but also the need for careful oversight.
definitely raises some eyebrows.
So how is Microsoft addressing these potential risks?
Well, they're taking a multi-layered approach
Okay.
for tasks involving code execution.
Hmm.
They're using sandboxed environments,
Right.
kind of like virtual playpens, to limit what the agent can do.
Makes sense. And prevent unintended consequences.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're trying to strike a balance
Right.
between giving the AI agency and maintaining a degree of control.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
But Microsoft isn't the only one working on this kind of technology, right?
Absolutely not. This is a hot area of research.
Okay.
Other tech giants like OpenAI and IBM are also developing multi-agent systems.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure, OpenAI has Swarm,
Okay.
and IBM has their Agent framework.
So what sets Magentic-One apart from these other systems? What makes it unique?
One key difference is Magentic-One's modular design.
Okay.
You can easily add or remove agents as needed
Right.
without having to rebuild the entire system.
So it's very flexible.
Yes, very adaptable for a wide range of applications.
So flexibility seems to be a recurring theme with Magentic-One.
Definitely. It's one of its key strengths.
Is there a way for someone like me or anyone listening to actually experiment with this technology?
Actually, yes.
Or is this all happening behind closed doors at Microsoft?
There's a YouTube tutorial out there
Really?
that walks you through how to install and test Magentic-One locally.
So if someone has the technical skills,
Yeah.
they can actually play around with this system.
That's right. You can experiment with it and see how it handles different tasks.
Wait, you're telling me I could have my own team of AI agents working for me?
Well, not exactly like in the movies,
This is starting to sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
but you can definitely explore the capabilities of Magentic-One firsthand.
Wow.
It's a great way to get a hands-on understanding of this groundbreaking technology.
I don't know about you, but I'm already itching to try this out myself.
Me too. It's a very exciting development in the world of AI.
This whole world of multi-agent AI is incredibly intriguing.
Yes.
It feels like we're on the verge of a major shift in how we interact with technology.
I agree. This technology has the potential to revolutionize many aspects of our lives.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive so far.
We have.
Let's take a moment to recap the key takeaways for our listeners.
Okay, so we started by introducing Magentic-One,
Right.
Microsoft's multi-agent AI system that goes beyond simply providing answers. It can actually take action in the digital world.
And we talked about its unique structure with an orchestrator agent delegating tasks to specialized agents.
Yes.
Like Web Surfer and File Surfer.
Exactly. Each agent plays a crucial role in completing complex tasks.
We also discussed how Magentic-One is built on an open source framework called Autogen,
Right.
which allows it to work with different large language models, making it super versatile.
And we touched on how Microsoft is rigorously testing Magentic-One with Autogen Bench
Yeah.
to ensure it can handle complex real-world tasks.
Of course, we didn't shy away from the risks either.
True.
We discussed some instances where the agent's actions raised concerns during testing.
Right, like the repeated login attempts.
Yeah, and the agent trying to contact real people for help.
And the steps Microsoft is taking to mitigate those risks, such as using sandboxed environments and emphasizing a human-in-the-loop approach for sensitive actions.
Okay, so they're trying to make it as safe as possible while still giving it the freedom to be effective.
Exactly. It's a challenging balance.
And we also highlighted how this reflects a broader shift in AI, moving from AI that merely recommends to AI that acts what's known as an agentic system.
It's a paradigm shift in how we think about AI.
And we even touched on other multi-agent systems being developed by companies like OpenAI and IBM,
Right.
showing that this is a rapidly evolving field with a lot of exciting potential.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning of what's possible with multi-agent AI.
Okay, before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I have a thought-provoking question for you, our listener.
Okay.
If AI can now act in the digital world, what does that mean for the future of work,
Right.
creativity, and even our daily lives?
It's a big question with a lot of potential answers.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Share them in the comments below,
Yes, please do.
and maybe even suggest some topics you'd like us to explore in future deep dives.
We're always looking for new ideas.
And while you're at it, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to our channel
Yes, please subscribe.
for more insightful explorations into the world of technology and innovation. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Magentic-One deep dive,
We'll be back soon.
where we'll delve even deeper into the intricacies of this fascinating AI system. Until then, keep exploring and keep learning.
See you next time. Welcome back to our deep dive into Magentic-One.
All right, so we've established that Magnetic-One is more than just a one-trick pony. It's not limited to, a single task or skill set.
Exactly. One of the things that makes Magnetic-One so powerful is its ability to act as a generalist system.
A generalist, okay.
Unlike some AI that's designed for very specific tasks.
Right.
Magnetic-One is built to be adaptable and capable of handling a wider range of challenges.
Okay, I'm following you. But can you give some concrete examples of what this generalist approach looks like in action?
Sure.
Paint a picture for us.
Okay. Let's say a researcher needs to analyze a complex data set. This data could come from all over the place. Websites, local files, you name it. Magnetic-One, with its team of specialized agents, could navigate this intricate data landscape with ease.
Okay. I'm picturing a data jungle, and Magnetic-One is our intrepid explorer.
I like that analogy.
How does it actually work in this scenario?
Well, the orchestrator, acting as the leader, would delegate tasks to each agent based on their strengths. WebSurfer might be tasked with gathering relevant information from websites, while FileSurfer dives into local files, pulling out key data points. Then Coder could step in and write the scripts needed to perform specific calculations.
So it's kind of like a well-coordinated team, each member with their own area of expertise.
Exactly. And all of this happens autonomously orchestrated by our intelligent manager, the orchestrator.
So it's not just about individual agents being good at their jobs. It's about the team working together in a coordinated way to solve complex problems.
You're exactly right. Yeah. And that's where the concept of an agentic system really shines through. Magnetic-One isn't just passively responding to commands. It's actively strategizing, planning, and executing actions to achieve a specific goal. It's thinking ahead.
This all sounds incredibly futuristic, but are there any real-world examples of Magnetic-One in action?
That's a great question.
Or is this all still mostly theoretical at this point?
While Magnetic-One is relatively new, the researchers at Microsoft have been putting it through rigorous testing. They've even published a detailed paper outlining their experiments and findings.
Oh, interesting. So what did they find? How did Magnetic-One perform in these real-world tests?
They put Magnetic-One to the test using 3 different benchmark datasets, each designed to evaluate the capabilities of AI agents.
What were these benchmarks?
These benchmarks, GAIA, Assistant Bench, and WebArena, present complex tasks that require planning, reasoning, and the use of various tools. They're not easy.
Hold on, before we dive into the results, can you give us a little more background on each of these benchmarks? For those of us who haven't been reading AI research papers in our spare time.
Of course. Let's start with GAIA. This benchmark is like a comprehensive exam for general-purpose AI assistants. It includes a wide variety of real-world tasks, from fact-checking and data analysis to creative tasks like writing stories or poems.
So it's testing if these AI agents can handle the kinds of things we humans do every day.
Exactly. The tasks in GIIA are designed to be challenging, requiring multiple steps and often involving the use of different tools like web browsers and file systems.
Okay, that sounds intense. What about Assistant Bench? What does that focus on?
Assistant Bench is more specific. It focuses on tasks that you would typically ask a human assistant to do.
Okay, like what?
Things like scheduling appointments, booking travel, researching information online, that sort of thing. It tests an AI's ability to understand complex instructions, navigate real-world websites, and complete tasks that require multi-step reasoning.
So it's more like a practical, everyday kind of AI assistant then?
Yes, exactly.
And lastly, what is this WebArena you mentioned? What makes it different?
WebArena is unique because it takes place entirely within a simulated web environment.
Interesting.
The tasks involve interacting with various synthetic websites. Think online shops, forums, or map applications. It's a way to test how well an AI can navigate and manipulate web interfaces, solve problems that require web-based knowledge, and generally how effectively it can operate in a digital space.
Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture of these benchmarks now. So how did Magnetic-One actually perform on these tests? Did it pass with flying colors?
Drumroll, please. Magnetic-One performed remarkably well.
Really?
On GAIA, it achieved a task completion rate of over 38%.
Wow.
Which puts it on par with some of the top-performing AI systems in the field.
Wait, seriously? That's impressive, considering those other systems are often specifically designed for these kinds of tests, right?
Magnetic-One is designed to be more of a general-purpose solution. So seeing it perform this well against specialized AI is pretty remarkable.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What about the other 2 benchmarks? Assistant Bench and WebArena? How did it fare on those?
On a system bench, Magentic-One achieved an accuracy of 27.7%,
Okay.
which again is very competitive considering the complexity of the tasks. And on Web Arena, it successfully completed 32.8% of the tasks,
This is not too shabby.
demonstrating its ability to navigate and interact with complex web environments.
So it sounds like Magentic-One can definitely hold its own against some of the best AI systems out there, even in these very specific, challenging scenarios. What do you think are the key factors that contribute to its success? What sets it apart?
Well, its multi-agent architecture is definitely a huge advantage.
Right.
By breaking down complex tasks into smaller, more manageable steps, and then delegating those steps to specialized agents, Magentic-One can approach problems more efficiently and effectively. It's a classic divide-and-conquer strategy.
Right. Each agent brings its own unique strengths to the table. And by working together, they can accomplish much more than any single agent could alone. It's like a well-oiled machine or maybe a well-coordinated team of experts.
Exactly. And beyond its multi-agent design, Magentic-One also benefits from its flexibility and adaptability. Remember how we talked about Autogen?
Yeah.
That ability to work with various large language models makes it incredibly versatile.
So it's not limited by the constraints of any one specific AI technology, which is a huge plus in a field that's evolving as rapidly as AI.
Precisely. As new and more powerful LLMs emerge, Magentic-One can easily integrate them, which means its capabilities are constantly improving. It's future-proofed in a way.
I have to say, the more we talk about this, the more I'm fascinated by this whole concept of AI agents.
It is
It
fascinating.
really does feel like we're entering a new era of computing, where AI is less about passive tools and more about active collaborators.
I agree.
It's both exciting and a little daunting at the same time.
It is. It's a powerful technology with a lot of potential for both good and bad.
But let's be realistic. This technology is still in its early stages of development.
Sure.
There's a lot we still don't know about how these systems will evolve and what their full impact on society will be.
That's a crucial point. As with any emerging technology, there's a need for careful consideration and responsible development.
Right.
We need to be mindful of the potential risks and make sure we're using this technology in a way that benefits humanity.
We've touched on those risks, and it's important to reiterate that we need to proceed with caution.
Definitely.
We need to make sure these systems are aligned with human values and goals.
I couldn't agree more. At the end of the day, AI systems like Magentic-One are tools.
Right.
And like any tool, they can be used for good or for ill. The responsibility lies with us as humans to guide the development and use of these technologies in a way that benefits society as a whole.
That's a great point to wrap up this segment of our deep dive on.
Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll explore some of the broader implications of multi-agent AI systems and what the future might hold.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Magentic-One.
It's been a fascinating journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We've covered so much ground, from understanding how those AI agents work together to exploring, the potential of Magentic-One and the ethical considerations.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is.
Yeah.
The more we've talked about all this, the more I'm struck by how AI research is becoming so much more practical.
I agree. For years, AI felt very theoretical.
Right. Like it was happening in a lab somewhere.
Exactly. But with systems like Magentic-One, that gap between theory and application is closing fast.
We're seeing AI that can actually do real-world things.
Right.
Often, with a level of sophistication that's pretty mind-blowing.
And it's not just about mimicking human actions either.
Right. It's about doing things maybe even better than humans can.
It's about augmenting our abilities, allowing us to be more efficient, more effective, and maybe even unlock new possibilities we haven't even imagined.
I'm thinking back to that researcher using Magentic-One to analyze data.
Yeah.
Imagine all that time saved by not having to do all that tedious work manually.
Exactly. It frees up human researchers to focus on the big picture,
Right.
The creative stuff.
It's like AI taking care of the grunt work so humans can focus on what they do best.
Exactly. It's a collaboration.
But, of course, we need to be realistic. This technology is still very new.
It is.
We don't know how it will evolve or what the long-term impact on society will be.
That's a crucial point. As with any new technology, there's a need for careful consideration and responsible development.
We've talked about the potential risks.
Yeah.
And it's important to keep those in mind as we move forward.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure these AI systems are aligned with human values.
Right.
And that they're used in a way that benefits everyone.
I couldn't agree more. AI systems are ultimately tools, and it's up to us to use them wisely.
It's a big responsibility.
It is. But it's also an incredible opportunity.
To shape the future of AI.
To shape the future, period.
Well said. As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with a sense of both excitement and caution.
I understand.
This technology is so powerful.
It is.
It has the potential to be truly transformative, but we need to guide its development carefully.
We do. We need to have open and honest conversations about the role we want AI to play in our lives.
I think that's a great place to leave it. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
And we hope you found it as fascinating as we did.
I hope so.
If you have any thoughts or questions, please share them in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about the deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.